Good afternoon. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for joining us today, live on YouTube and here in Select Group headquarters. Today, we're lucky to have with us Viri, who's visiting from Singapore head office for Six Senses. She's the global director for residences in the Six Senses group. She's assisting our existing team on handing over the residences of Six Senses, The Palm, which gonna be by the end of quarter four. So they are here to set up everything in order to assist our business partners to take over their units and get a great and smooth handover. Meanwhile, we took this great opportunity to do the live cast to get some insights how Six Senses and how Viri is foreseeing the market, about her knowledge in the global market and the impact of the residences that are branded with hotel operators and some information on what drives that business around the world, not only in the UAE or in Dubai in particular. Viri, welcome. And please, could you just give us a brief introduction about yourself, how long you've been in the industry, and all of that, please?
Sure. Thank you. Thank you, George. It's very excited to be here. And I think it's great timing. We're about to launch Six Senses Dubai, the Palm, really a big benchmark for us. It's one of the last plot of land on the west, and it's looking great. I just went to see it. And my role is really to bring this vision alive, bring the brand touch points into the day to day living of the homeowners, 172 of them who have purchased. Good job, George and Select Group. I started my career really in hotels, and you can see the line blurring now with hotels and residences. It's almost the same. But I look at, I love interior design and things like that. But I look at how, in hotels, you check in and you check out, and you don't sometimes see them again. I navigated my career from Shangri-La Hotels into Ritz-Carlton, opened the Bvlgari in Shanghai, helped with Marriott Starwood merger, managed the Ritz-Carlton in Singapore, the standalones, and then was moved to Bangkok for the Ritz-Carlton there. And of course, opening Bvlgari Shanghai was really exciting. And then, of course, joined Six Senses, thinking that I want to be part of the homeowner's journey. And really, us and our team that are operating the operational excellence that we do, it's really making a difference about the lives, bringing our brand alive into Six Senses, especially here, the Palm. But we're operating 8 residences now, and I'm overseeing close to 32 residences around the world that we are opening. So a lot of bandwidth, but a lot of love for the brand, bringing this into the lives of the homeowners. Thank you.
We know in the historical facts that branded residences started in 1920, which is a really long time ago. But in Dubai in particular, it started only in 2010 with Armani Hotel in Burj Khalifa. Since that time, we see a surge. And year after year, we see more and more branded residences coming into play. And what do you think drives this momentum? What is the driver behind that?
So, really, if you look at the demographics who are purchasing the branded residences, and I feel I have a good real estate group here, you can see more younger global. In fact, George, a fun fact, our youngest owner for Six Senses homeowner is going to be on your palm,
Wow. How old is
37-year-old entrepreneur.
37?
Yes, so
Okay.
you can see how the demographics are changing. I think it's important that they're looking at a lifestyle, the quality of life. I think COVID was a catalyst to this. After the pandemic, people started looking at their homes more as a sanctuary. They wanted a brand to trust, to allow them to live healthier, longer, better, and a development that provides area programming with a purpose, a home that actually heals me, where I can connect around with the world around us, with the nature, with myself, which is wellness, and of course, still a sustainability company. If you look at the Gen Z right now, they're really looking at not amenities, they're looking at experiences, right? They're looking at human connection. And if you see people traveling around the world, and I can speak about six senses, you are seeing people wanting to disconnect. And I think that's what we provide. Our vision for six senses is we create places to connect, and that comes alive in the residences.
Yeah, but there is some things that are currently happening. And as just summarize what you said, it's people are buying in residences that are branded just to have that particular level of service and human touch that drives their well-being. Yeah. On the other hand, there is a lot of brands, car brands, retail brands, shoes brands. They're also thinking that this is branded residence. Yet, when I looked on what branded residence mean on ChatGPT or Google or whatever, it says very clearly it needs to be operated by a hotel
Right.
operator. So the definition is within the hotel operating aspect. So my next question would be, what would be the expectation of the homeowners when they are going and looking at this change in the segment, and when from the day this branded residence emerged till date, we see a lot of changes are happening. A lot of growth is additional value, added services. We see that there is a change. Now the expectations also of the homeowners are completely different when they buy Six Senses, or which is a wellness brand, which focusing on the well-being, while buying another brand that is just maybe a hotel operator or a bag brand. So thinking about it, what do you think their expectations would be when they're buying your brand?
So again, designing with purpose, right? When we create residences, we actually look at who's buying. I think it's very, very important for us on building with purpose for the demographics. So if I talk about example Amala that we are about to open in about a month or two, we look at homes that were multi-generational,
Mm,
5 bedrooms, places for helpers, for drivers, margilis for ladies, for men. I think a lot of brands need to look very, very closely at their market research of who's buying. And at the moment, we look at maybe globally 33% brand premium is in the market, but we're garnering projected at about 37% above premium. The brand distinction, the brand premium, the brand differentiator for branded residences. I think the lifestyle purchase, they're not buying a brick and mortar anymore. They're not about luxury anymore. They're purchasing really a community. They
mm,
want to have like-minded neighbors. They want to meet their neighbors at a ritual, maybe having yoga together. In Six Senses Place in Dubai, the Palm, it's beautiful. They have a platform for community where you're going to have a wellness club, which is the Six Senses Place.
mm,
Every homeowner is going to gather there. And it's no more in the past where I meet you just for a drink and a chat. It's about let's play paddle together, let's do tennis, let's do squash. And I think you're asking about why people are more interested because they know the branded residences is going to give them a platform of like minded neighbors,
mm,
the environment, the geographics where you're staying, yet you have world class service. I mean, if you look at a silver economy, I think one in, there's going to be about 1 in 5 that are going to be above 60 in the next 5 years.
yeah.
They don't want to live in retirement homes. They want to live in multi generational homes. They actually want to have the environment and a purpose. They are living more active. They are younger. They are richer. They're more wealthier. They know how to look after themselves. And I think if a brand can differentiate that in the market, and I remember doing my capstone project for EHL, that what is the consumer perception of a wellness brand?
Mm,
And when you Google being healthy, the 3 words are going to come out about mental wellness, about feeling good, about enough sleep. So when you talk about six senses, sorry, I'm very proud of this brand. We look at really the journey of the homeowners. Do you sleep well? eat with six senses? Do you eat well? Grow with six
We see that
senses?
even in the approved designs of the units themselves, the direction of the rooms towards the light, the elevation of the flooring. This gives a lot of, even on the other project that we're building in Marina, we're going way much more ahead with the elimination of radiations in the bedrooms, the type of air conditioning used.
Circadian lighting,
Create,
air
yeah,
purifying,
this
the
is amazing. Yeah.
wellness homes that they're going to have.
What do you think are the key ingredients for a successful brand? What is like
I
the
think you
really
need
like the most important 2 3 points that makes a brand really come on top of the others? It's a differentiator that gives you that edge as
I
a
think it's
brand.
an authenticity. It needs to be a brand that people trust. When you hear about Six Senses, it's uncommon that somebody doesn't know it's a wellness brand or a
Yeah,
sustainability brand. The playground for branded residences is really crowded. I mean, how many projects do you have in Dubai? You just mentioned it. There are
yeah, but it
maybe,
depends which type of brands. We
yeah,
have
that's
watches, we have bags, we have cars, we have, and we have
non-hotelier
operators. We
brands.
have few. We
And
have few.
that's a big difference, right?
Mm,
When we talk about operating branded residences from the time the blueprint is done, we don't check out of the homeowners because now we have to bring that vision of the developers and the brand alive. So we need to make sure the day-to-day living, the touch points, the DNA are in it, right? So when you look at brands that don't have a strong differentiator and it is typical of a luxury home, it becomes just a place you live.
yeah.
But ours is about selling a quality of life. It's
Mm,
about lifestyle.
mm. But the thing is, we see a lot of demand in the market. We when we decided to come with the second project of Six Senses, we looked at how is the market moving, and we saw that the demand for high-end luxury is better than regular developments throughout the coming 2 years because people are now more aware, and we understood also that when we were building the palm, we looked at how do we want to bring this to life with your team because your team had the biggest impact on the design. It had to be all approved by Six Senses team for us to move forward with the project. But developing it in that shape and that look and that feel and providing that service attracted very specific target markets. And as you know, when you asked me a few weeks ago who bought in the development, I told you I don't know because the people who bought initially are not the people who are going to live in it. And today we see that the more we progress in the project, we attract a very specific target market towards that project. So in your opinion, going through all the portfolios of the Six Senses around the world where you have sold residences, and what do you think is why these people buy and what is it that they look beyond buying a property? Because to be honest, I have 3 clients now lined up. They're like, please tell me who wants to sell. I want an apartment on the pond. And I'm like, we don't know in the secondary market. It's not our expertise. We don't know who wants to sell, but they want to be part of it. They want to be there. So in your experience, their feedback, what they come back to, what do you think is that point that they say, we don't look just at the stone? What is it that they're looking beyond that particular
So,
thing?
a very big KPI for me and our residential team is enriching the community to
Mm,
make sure that they are connected. I actually track who are the demographics that purchase homes globally. We have about 400 homeowners right now globally because we have about 8 projects. That will take us in the next 5 years to about 1,745
it's a
homeowners.
big pipeline.
And I track who their nationalities are, why they're buying, what's the motivation of purchase. Typically, we look at individuals who are time poor, asset rich. They want someone to, be able to look after them, not like just providing the basic services, that even the concierges in the residences, I call them wellness concierges because they should know what's happening on property
Mm,
in the holistic living part. People do not want to be bothered by the little things in life. We need to make that accessible to them to be able to live better. So that holistic living and responsible design, area programming, uh, connecting to nature, being close to water, like what your project is. But every project is different. In Kompota is like barefoot luxury, you know. We have homes that are connected between each other through gardens. They're sensory gardens. We have music, we have singing bowls that we bring rituals into their lives daily. We bring in speakers that talk about specific programs, and our homeowners will be a very big part of it. So we not only have a vision that says we create places to reconnect, we need to make sure their inner child, where they never had an opportunity to grow, do something crazy. But we also tweak in little moments in their lives to make sure that their homes create memory. In Bangkok, it's a multi generational 27 villas, for example. And we know Asians want to live together, and the homes are stunning. They're a bridge that connects two. And I remember growing up in a courtyard where the family comes together for meals, eat together, have family and friends, and it reminded me of that, right? So they have a courtyard that everybody gathers together. They have spaces for the kids where you have a games room. So everybody, there's even a prayer room because, you know, the
Like
Buddhists,
private,
yeah,
very
it's
private.
very private. So that's what I think makes Six Senses very different. Every geographic is different. Every demographic we're selling to is not a mass market. And you mentioned that, right? You look at homes around the world that have been sold. I mean, we we have had good results. 87% of our homes are sold, and some before being launched, right? About 10% maybe, or 12, maybe Dubai is a different market, that actually have resold their homes.
Mm,
It becomes a legacy
okay.
product. It becomes an emotional purchase.
Mm.
And if you look at about 8 to 10% of homeowners actually buy more than one Six Senses. So it's a collection that they're doing around the world.
So,
So which is
looking at that
interesting.
particular point,
Yeah.
do you think they're after the lifestyle and the service and the wellness, or it's purely for investment?
So that drives investment.
All
When
right.
you look at a brand that provides a different level of experience, it is a constrained supply, right? People get interested to want to have a part of this living. So it really is driving financial results as well.
So, from an appreciation perspective, when you look at it around the world, from every product that you have built, what was like, what can we say from an average, like, Six Senses the Palm is a phenomenal growth, all right? We Because, to be honest, from we see, I know it because I'm the one who sold it initially, and today I see how much it's reselling in the market and what's the value, and how many people are literally queuing to buy again, and they're like asking every day, is anything coming back to you? Do you have anything available? So we know the level of appreciation. But from an investment perspective, globally, as a Six Senses brand, what is an average from, if they buy on the launch and after 5 to 10 years,
37%
37?
premium at the
Wow.
moment. So I track the numbers
On
as
the
well
total price.
on the price. But Georges,
Uh,
you did more than that here.
no, no, I'm telling you, Dubai is a different
Yes.
ballgame. We expect the same
Yeah.
for Marina, to be honest, and every other project we build. But we know that branded residences, from our experience, we did already three developments that are managed, four actually development managed by luxury hotel operators, and the value they bring to the table from day one to day two, it was always something very significant for our owners. So yeah, I
And
don't think it's
that's
comparable to the rest of
yeah.
the world. Is why I'm asking globally if
Yeah.
there are interest in.
In London, we have a community with Six Senses Place as well. And people want to purchase that lifestyle, right? Within your home, within your estate, you actually have every need that you need. I mean, those homes sold at about 43,000 US dollars per square meter, for
Mm,
example. I mean, that was amazing. And, you know, it was a historical old
plus tax.
Victorian plus Texas, maybe. But I think you look at the brand, when you look at the logo of Six Senses, I mean, people see six dots and a triangle. To the public, maybe that's what intrigues them. But to us, we know that's the blessing of the monks, right?
Yeah.
The five senses,
Yeah.
and then the sixth one
The
is
sixth one.
intuition.
Yeah.
And that intuition links us back to our very strong emotional hospitality. It's not only hospitality. And you spoke about Bugatti, you spoke
Yeah.
about Nobu, and maybe all these brands. Yes, you have a designer building. You're going to make sure that your area programming is based on your brand distinction. But who's going to operate this now?
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
yeah.
So the
That's very
team
relevant.
that is going to be behind it is going to bring this brand alive every day. And that's why being here with Christian and the team to make sure that we are on point from the day we hand over the key. And it's not only the Dubai project, it's just globally. IHG is our parent company, as we know, and we have the support systems to make
Mm.
sure that we are handing over homes that are fully designed with purpose and delivered with our
Yeah.
DNA.
Yeah. This take us to the next question. Are homeowners who are investing in Six Senses as a brand are investing in the logo, like, brand's logo? Brand. Some people, let's say, wear a jacket from a designer where you see the monogram.
Yeah.
You see that, like a curtain, a person walking with a curtain of a jacket and pants with all the monograms and the shoes and everything. And you see some silent elegance where you look at something and you say, wow, this is beautifully designed, without seeing that logos. Well, from a homeowner perspective, for the brand that you manage around the world, do you think they are investing in the logo and the name, or they are looking at real tangible benefits and things they can feel while they are putting that premium? Because we know it's a premium price. It's not just the regular price of Gaggenau equipment in the kitchen or natural stone on the flooring, because this anybody can do. Anybody can change this in his two-bedroom apartment. You don't need the mansion to do that. But
No,
is it the logo and the brand name, or the tangibility of the?
it's a very good question. And we look at the logo as a brand equity. It
Yeah.
isn't a logo, it is a promise. It's a promise of a quality of life. It's a promise of communities that enrich. It's a promise that designs were built with purpose, homes that were built with spaces that adds value to your day-to-day living, that owner's journey that we look at. I mean, just imagine getting up in the morning, maybe going to the restaurant to have something to eat, but everything is have been curated with Eat with Six Senses. Your children go to Grow with Six Senses, which is a beautiful place for kids to grow. And we are screening your well-being. We will have clinics that look after you medically as well. And we're working a lot and doing a lot of research on longevity. We have the Rose Bar in
Very.
Ibiza, and it is very interesting what's happening. We're not a hospital, we're a hospitality company that's providing well-being, and it enriches people, it
Yeah.
enriches the planet. And when I speak to homeowners, which I like to do when I go on properties to visit, I like to have breakfast with them. I don't usually get the usual, the buggy is late, or the some no one is picking up the
They're
phone.
relaxed.
They are in a different world. We
Mm.
want to keep them still. We
Mm.
want them to connect with themselves. And that's why even myself, as the global director of residences, I'm overseeing the director of residences to make sure that I know what event you're curating for
Mm.
the
Mm.
homeowners. You
Mm.
must have one event a month. But what is that event? I was in Kaplankaya. It was very exciting. They have a event by the beach where they bring in all the local farmers, the fishmongers, the little handicraft. There's a big line of a fair by the beach that the homeowners love it. I mean, these
Mm.
are ultra high net worth individuals who go and pick the fish that they want to buy, the vegetable, the little trinkets, and then they get the chef of the hotel to cook it for them in their villa. And look at the whole experience that you had. You supported the local community, you
Mm.
brought in the local farmers, and now you are enjoying that meal, what you curated for yourself, and what Six Senses served for you on what you wanted to eat that day. For example, I can tell many stories because this really
Well,
intrigues me, not the norm, you know? Yeah.
I totally connect with you. During my days in hospitality, I used to work for a very known also wellness brand, and I worked for Intercont at that time. When I was going to visit the resorts that I managed, and they are built to serve the community in remote areas or by the beach or in the mountains or in an island. It was always an amazing experience, especially when you see the people living there as ownership of these residences. You see they can live longer. What's the eldest owner? Like the age of the eldest owner is
87,
oh, he's still young. Great.
who bought three multi-generational homes
Wow.
in one building so that he can have his whole family there together. So
Okay.
that's what we look at. I mean, you look at Dubai Marina, we were together at the launch,
Mm-hmm.
and there were individuals who bought multiple homes.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they know that this is not just brick and mortar.
Yeah.
This place comes alive.
When you say that and you see the world is changing at the speed that, honestly speaking, most of the people can't cope with anymore. It's too fast for specific generations, especially the generation of the investors in Six Senses brand. Because when we're saying 37 to 84, 87, so the biggest chunk would be my age group, ranging between 45 and
45 to 55.
exactly. So we are a generation that's not millennial. We are the generation X, correct? So these people, we're trying to cope, but things are going really fast. So we're running over speed just to catch the bits and pieces that are left behind the millennial and the Gen Z. And I don't know the names of all the generations since that time. What do you think is what innovation in design will come in the next decade? What's going to be the future for that particular industry of branded living?
I think I will go back to self care. Um, if we look at our biophilic designs, because we want to bring people close to nature, right, in our lobbies, and we want to make sure that there's natural light, there's outdoor sensory gardens. We are working with Loire Valley. It's 40 minutes from Paris, and we're working in the kitchens to come up with gardens in the kitchen. So you have herb gardens that you can pluck and cook. Wellness lockers. You open your wardrobes. It's really not your clothes. It's really your wellness equipments. We're looking at some, facial care, refrigerators to store facial care and things like that. I cannot give away too many secrets of my company, but we are constantly, we have an innovation team within our company that, the leadership sits in to hear what people come up with,
Mm.
and they pick the best innovation initiative to make it happen, whether it's towards sustainability, whether it's towards wellness, whether it's out of ordinary moment. So you can see a lot of creativity is being encouraged within the company so that we continuously progress.
How do you, looking at all of this and it's happening and
Yeah.
we see it, it's coming to life in our project. Honestly speaking, I see the development, I see the team, I see the recruitment. And I was sitting with the team when they were recruiting some of the new joiners on the directors level and managers. And I see that your company takes a really deep look into it. And the question was to the GM, I said, like, why did you work with that person, not with that person? He told me, we want to deliver a message and a lifestyle. We need to choose the people, not just the skills, the set of skills. It's the individuals who reflect that. So when think about it, this brings to me the next last question is, if looking ahead, how do we see the branded residences influencing not
Mhm.
just the luxury aspect? What is also the human factor that will give that advantage to branded hotel, branded operated buildings towards the luxury? Because luxury building is a well-defined structure, a beautiful stone, great kitchen equipment, elevators, design, ID design, architecturally. It it is that. This is luxury. At the end of the day, you can see it, feel it, and touch it. But when we say hotel operating brands, it's automatically introducing the human factor. So, from an impact and longevity of that value, where do you position this to that? From an age, let's say this will be 10 years of a great value, this would be like 15 years of a great value. So, what is that thing that you look at from that
From
particular angle?
individuals, firstly, we're very diversified. We look at, again, it's not cookie cutter, mass market, luxury market, hire someone from experience of the brand. And I'll tell you my experience personally of interviewing people. We just hired recently a director of residences for one of our projects, and she was very much into well-being. She is certified.
She's Zen.
She's zen. She's calm. I ask her questions that you put people on the spot. When you speak to them, it's the same for your director of residences here. Nadir, you're here. I interviewed about 57 people before I picked you. So, you need to have that human connection. You need to have to give scenarios on how they react. You need to know how they are going to bring Six Senses brand alive into the day to day lives of the homeowners, not only the homeowners, the kids, the family, the friends. How do you bring this vision alive? And also, we're really not selling just square meters. You really helping people to live better. You want to help them to live longer. You want them to help them to live together. What sort of platforms do you provide in order to, you yourself need to believe in the healthy lifestyle, the quality of life, to have a balanced lifestyle, to be able to look after people and advocate that. So again, we look at a lot of activities and events and how we progress in terms of making sure that how they live better, shaping that identity, that connection, and also meaning, right? There's always a purpose. It's no more looking at homes. I mean, if you go with your kids now to a supermarket, I mean, I go with my son and he's standing there reading the ingredients 20 times before he puts something in the basket.
Yeah, and we need to know the calorie count and all. Okay.
So that's exactly what I'm saying. The future generation is not just going to buy a home.
Yeah.
They want to know this.
Reviews and how
Yeah,
does it go?
how is it going to improve my
Yeah,
life?
yeah.
So I think out there developers are catching on that, the trend of what's happening.
We got the best in the market,
You
by
got
the
the
way.
best in the market.
We
Welcome
love
to
this.
Six
We love
Senses.
this. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
No, thank you so much for coming here, and thank you for supporting our team. Honestly, because as an owner with all our hotels that we own, we don't think that their team, our team. It's always our team. We work together to deliver excellence, and we believe strongly in the brand. This is why, from experience, we went with it, and we're very proud of it. And thank you for coming all the way to support. Thank you for
My
spending the
pleasure.
time. I know it was a very tough week for you, day and night working because the deadline is approaching. So thank you for this live cast. Thank you for the
My
insights,
pleasure.
for the information. We really appreciate that. And before we wrap up, we're gonna say thank you to everybody and leave the last word for you, and then we go for Q and A's.
Well, my last word will be the homes of the future won't be just where you live, but how we live together, shaping identity, shaping connections, and true meaning of what a building means when it's built with purpose, love, care. Thank you.
We like that. Thank you. So, thank you for being with us. Now, any questions to Viri or myself will be more than happy to answer. So, whoever has a question, this is a microphone where you can ask the question.
Please be kind to me.
Hi, I'm coming from, this is Alexandra Escobar. I'm from Driven Properties and Driven for Properties. And my question is, I come from Mexico. My market was there and I recently moved here. And I know Six Senses have opened new residences there. It's very tailored to the Mexican, of course, clients. But here we have 200 nationalities, right? About pretty much like, what things do you think will help culturally, help cohesively unite a community like this?
Alexandra,
Yes.
thank you. A very good question. So, our journey in operating residences doesn't begin now. And Georges knows that. I drive him crazy sometimes. 2 years out, we are already looking at who are the demographics who are buying this project, and we already know what their ages are, where they come from, what's the motivation. Is this a secondary home? Is this a primary home? Is this going to be rented out? Are you going to put it into our rental program? So, based on that bio data, we now curate the owner's journey, even in terms of if the largest demographic is a certain nationality, we're looking at hiring people who can speak that language. We're looking at what their lifestyle is, what how to curate their day-to-day living. If you look at Dubai, the Palm, if I look at it as an example, it gave us an opportunity to improve our digital journey. We look at our Six Senses app, we added more functions to it compared to our other projects, which is really a test site because we have very, very young owners in Dubai, the Palm. So they are not the ones who's going to go to the WhatsApp and say, "Can I come and meet you?" That will happen in another property, maybe when we have an older silver economy or older generation. But we need to make it seamless for them. And we look at how they can book spaces, they can chat with the concierge, and yet whatever they're chatting with us, we actually create that data. That data is king to us because we want to know what is the trend of these homeowners, what are they asking for all the time. For example, in Courchevel, when I look at the data, people going skiing there, the majority of the data shows that they are requesting for nannies all the time. So when you look at the data, we went out to research to get more nannies because the parents are going skiing. But if we don't look at the data, we wouldn't know. Or in a place where people are waiting more than 6 minutes for a buggy, why are they waiting so long? So your question is really relevant. The research of who's buying, what their lifestyles are, and the motivations of purchasing, what the nationalities are, what they speak. And also culturally, we need to train our teams on how to react, how to serve. I mean, we look at a few services yesterday and the day before. We already know in this market what we need to do. So our operational excellence will be world class for each specific project. Thank you.
So we're gonna wrap up. Thank you for being here. Just keep in mind one thing: when we have ventured with this particular operator to manage the most beautiful resort, the decision was common between both of us to build a resort that services the residences, while nobody has done that yet. Every other development in the country or in the region or somewhere else, there is always a segregation. They say this is used by the hotel guests, this is used by the owners of the homes. This beach is cut into two pieces. This is where the residents live, and this is where the hotel guests live. This is the one and only experience because Six Senses wanted to deliver the full hotel experience to the owners living on that particular project. And this is very unique. This is luxury. This is the elevation and this is the wellness that us as developers, we wanted to give and deliver to our business partners. And this is why it is a success story. So keep that in mind. Luxury is a feel, it's not what you see. So this is what Six Senses delivers. It's a well-being of an individual. So thank you so much, all of you, for being here. Thank you for the ones who are with us live online. And hopefully we catch up soon with more interesting subjects. Wishing you a great, great, great afternoon. Thank you. Have a good day.
Thank you.